Airlines have been making changes in their airplanes, in their procedures, and they have not been telling you about them. So for 2025, you passengers need to know these travel hacks based on what airlines have kept hidden from you. They have rolled them out slowly so that you hardly even notice, and they have so many airplanes it's hard to know. Hey there, I've added some changes at the 5-minute mark that are for travelers in the year 2025, so do not miss those. I'm going to educate you on the new rules and some changes that have happened if you have not flown in the last year, so that in 2025, you're going to be ready. The number one change the airlines have made is they've put more seats in airplanes, which mean there are more people that need to get in the airplane. So they are now boarding 45 to 50 minutes before the airplane is supposed to take off. Here's the travel hack that you can do the day before your flight. Check the boarding time when you see your ticket. Your travel hack takes planning. Arrive at the gate where the airplane is parked 1 hour before departure. Be sure to add that time in if you are connecting to another airline. Airlines are not telling passengers that 50 minutes is not enough time to connect to another flight, but they still have that flight as the top choice when you go to buy tickets. The hack you need to do is this. If buying a ticket that has a connection, do not choose the one that has a 50-minute gap between flights. One change that airlines have made hidden from passengers is that they are putting electronic boxes underneath the airplane seats, but not all of them. And they're not telling you which ones do or do not have them. But what I noticed is the seat is lower now to the carpet. So my backpack had a hard time fitting underneath the seat, and it was an aisle seat. But then the middle seat did not have an electronic box that could have fit 2 bags under there. So it's inconsistent still. If you have an airline that has a really small bag dimension, I have a video that will give you a list of bags that are smaller, but it's probably because they've lowered the seat or they've had to put an electronic box in some of the spot. The travel hack is to turn your backpack around to go under more easily so that it fits. Another thing that airlines are not making quite public, but they have it on their website, is that you may be entitled to a refund compensation. Here are the travel hacks. Research the policies for your airline before you have your flight. Number 2, keep the flight number by taking a screenshot of your ticket on your phone or a picture of your ticket, or just find that original email that you got. The number 3 tip is to talk very nicely to a customer service agent in the airport before you leave, because waiting on the phone is going to take forever. If your flight is canceled, you may be entitled to compensation. So when you go to that airline's website, just search refund and see what all it has for you to fill out and prove. And then also make sure you notice the little bitty buttons that are in there too, the fine print parts with the drop down arrows. Another thing that airlines do not tell passengers is that you can talk to the pilots if you are scared to death of flying. If they have time, ask the flight attendant if you can talk to the pilot because you're really scared. The travel hack is that you can also talk to flight attendants. If you have a question about your fear of flying or your ears hurting or something, ask the flight attendants. If you smell something weird, if you see something weird, ask the flight attendants. There is no such thing as a stupid question. However, here is another change. Because of social media, we are seeing a lot more of the turbulence problems. We think it's only because of social media that we're actually seeing those things happen now. The bumps from turbulence are normal. 2 tips. Watch this video if you are nervous. My husband, who is an airline pilot, is such a good teacher to explain it. 2 travel hacks during turbulence. Hold a physical book so that you can grip it. Number 2, a viewer said to write your name forward and backwards with your non-dominant hand. Flight attendants can serve you food or drink if it's bumpy, but if it does get more unpredictable, then the pilots may ask them to sit down. And this is the tip. Do not push your flight attendant call button either while they are supposed to be seated as well. I have 3 travel updates for the year 2025. Number 1, our friends in Canada, some of their airlines are going to start charging for any size carry-on luggage that you add besides like a crossbody bag or some kind of small bag. And the travel tip there is, like I always say, for every airline, Google or research the size dimensions allowed for that airline because they can change. The number 2 update is for Americans. We will be charged $7, I think, to go through the United Kingdom or to land in the United Kingdom. And that includes England, Scotland, Northern Ireland, and Wales. So what that update is an electronic travel authorization. And it is nothing that you hold up or have to print and show to the authorities going through there or when you arrive in those countries. It's only going to be a link that is embedded somewhere in your passport. Americans have to have the ETA done by January 8th, 2025. One travel tip is that babies and kids have to have it done. The UK says that the fastest way is to download this on their app. You can also sign up for this and pay for it on a computer if that's easier for you. I'll put that link in the first comment and the description box paragraph. All you will receive is an email saying that you have done it correctly and that it is now linked inside your passport. The third update is not really a change, but it is still intact for now that Americans have to have the real ID updated in your driver's license. Just check the article below if you have not done that yet or if you're unsure. Another change many of you have noticed, the gate agents are making announcements. Folks, if you have a third bag, your crossbody bag, a purse, any other bags, it needs to fit in your personal item bag before you can board. That is because airlines can get charged like $15,000 or more if someone in the boarding area is undercover with the FAA, okay? So the gate agent has to make that announcement. That's when the FAA is watching them, is in the boarding area. Here's the travel hack. As soon as you show your ticket or scan your ticket at the airplane to get on, put that bag back on your shoulder if that's easier for you to get situated in the airplane with. Another change is that flight attendants can no longer lift your bag. I helped a lady the other day lift her bag into the overhead bin because a flight attendant had taken her space above that seat. It was right before they closed the door, so I knew nobody else was in the aisle or in the aisle, yeah. So I got up and was like, I can help you with your bag. And so I pulled it back to put it up closer to my row. And the flight attendant was behind me and I said, you can't help her, can you? And he said, no, I cannot. And I was like, that's okay, I'll do it. But they really cannot help you. The travel hack is that you might be allowed a free checked bag. Carefully read your email from when you bought your ticket. Airlines are also not telling you that you can watch Netflix that you have downloaded. If you have YouTube TV, you can download videos to that app and watch them in the air, even if you have no Wi-Fi or any whatever it's called. Here's the travel hack. Choose a video you want to watch, tap download. Then in the airplane, here is what you do. When you open up Netflix, you'll see the N and then you have your name that you choose. You're going to see the suggested list, and in the very bottom corner of the right is My Downloads or My Netflix. And then you're going to click Downloads and it will show your list and you just tap the one. But here's the travel tip. You have to download it when you are on Wi-Fi or a server or something like that, like a day or two before your flight, just so you know. Another change that they have made while making more seats in the airplane is first class is now called business class or something like that, the one I bought my ticket on, and they are not that nice. Like, it's just a seat like this with a little more space underneath the airplane seat in front of you. And another thing I noticed is even though you have first class seats or business class, as they call them sometimes, it does not mean you get food. So you're paying like $100 extra if it's an affordable first class ticket, but you're not even getting food. Another travel tip that no airline talks about, and that is that coats go last. So in the winter, especially when I've uploaded this video, if you have a jacket, you're going to put it up in the overhead bins after all of the other luggage is up there. When I was going to Calgary, I had to take down my bag of my coat because the gate agent, I totally disagreed with her, but she came on board and said, "Whose jacket is this?" And I said, "It's mine." And I had put it in the bag, that travel hack that I have. I had put it in the little bag, but I had it beside somebody's suitcase. And she goes, "Honey, you need to take that down." And so I took it down, even though she called me honey in a condescending tone. But anyway, you want to make sure that other people that every passenger can get their suitcase in there, and then you can stuff it above the suitcases or just stuff it on the floor. If you are traveling from hot to cold or from cold to hot, I have the best travel tips, I think, from this entire year in this video that will help you pack in only a carry-on suitcase. I'll also put it in the first comment or the paragraph that's right below this video. Just look for the sentence and then the read more part and tap there, and you'll see everything that's on there. All right, I hope these help, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.